What's up, y'all? So right now I'm about to go see Supergirl. This is the second film in James Gunn's DCU. I have moderate hopes for this. I only say moderate just because yes, the critic score came out before I saw this, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like sometimes there's going to be movies with that kind of critic score, and I may come out enjoying it a lot, but I also may come out not really liking it. So I'm about to find out what this is like. So I'm gonna go watch, and then I'll come back with a quick first reaction of how I felt about it, and I'll let y'all know what I think. Just got out of seeing Supergirl, and my first quick out of the theater reaction. This is fine. I don't know if some of y'all watch Dan Merrill on YouTube. I actually like his rating system, but I'm saying this is definitely in the category of it's fine, maybe a low it's fine. But look, there are some things about this movie that I like a lot. Billy Alcock, she gets a lot of hate on the internet, but I personally like her as Supergirl, and this movie gives her a few good things, or actually a few great things. I'll say that. Also, too, I like the appearance of Superman. That's not a spoiler. Like he's been in some of the ads, so I like the appearances of Superman. I feel like Superman's not in this movie enough, and I know that's the point, but still, this movie also shows a good amount of flashbacks, which is definitely needed because, to my understanding, there have been like one Supergirl movie that came out like way back in the day. This is like the real intro to Supergirl for a lot of people, myself included. So the movie did its job well with that. And also, Jason Momoa as Lobo, perfect casting. Someone else who's not in this movie enough. Now, here's the thing: this movie kind of I want to say suffers, but one thing that's holding this movie back from being even like it's good is that number one, some of the editing choices are kind of questionable. There's one scene, I'm not ruining anything, but one scene with the character Ruthie, the little girl in this movie. There's like one scene, again, not spoiling anything, that cuts very fast, and I'm just like, wait, why did you do that? Second thing has little to do with the movie itself, but I feel like the trailer gave away a lot, and I mean, it didn't ruin the movie, but when you know what I'm talking about, where you're watching like a few of the trailers. I saw every trailer for this, and it really shows a lot. And it's like, okay, what happened to the element of surprise? I also feel like, and I hate to say this, but a lot of people had said this is just going to be Guardians of the Galaxy. And while this is not the same as Guardians of the Galaxy, I see what people mean considering this is the James Gunn produced DC universe, especially with the amount of needle drops. I don't know why they couldn't find a composer for some of those scenes because also too, I'm sorry, but I was thinking to myself during some scenes where the music was so loud, maybe because I saw this in an IMAX theater, I couldn't really hear some of the characters. Also, as I'm driving away, forgot to mention Krem, the villain in this, forgettable. Like in a year from now, if we're talking about this movie, and this is probably the one time I'll watch this movie, I'm saying Krem, I'm probably gonna forget his name. I mean, Creme de la Creme, I guess is the best way I can remember it, but yeah, definitely a disposable villain. And it kind of makes me wonder why so much time was also spent on Ruthie in this movie versus fully fleshing out the villain and his motives other than bad guy. You know what I mean? One more thing, this is off subject, but this movie has one thing in common with Avengers Infinity War, other than that movie also being produced by James Gunn. Squidward is mentioned. You'll see what I mean when you watch it. In a should you watch this, yes or no world, yes, if you're invested with DC. If you're not too invested with DC, then you don't really need to watch this. And I hate saying that because I was looking forward to this movie. I can see why this would be a letdown for some, generic for some. And, if you do get dragged to see this, like let's say you're hanging out with friends or going on a date or whatever, and you didn't really want to see this, I do think there's some things in this movie to enjoy. But yeah, I can see why this would be disappointing to some and kind of a letdown for me, but it wasn't time wasted. Also, important, no post credit scenes, no mid credit scenes. Once this movie ends, you can leave. You don't have to stick around like we had to with Superman. So I'm hoping for, better results with DC this year when it comes to Lanterns and Clayface. Clayface is my most anticipated when it comes to the DC stuff currently. Man of Tomorrow, we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's what I got out of seeing Supergirl, y'all. Have y'all seen this movie yet? What did you think of it? If you have, just let me know in the comments.